It's my pleasure to introduce to you today our keynote speaker. He's the drive-thru world record holder, a former McDonald's Innovation Chairman, a lifetime Ashoka Fellow, and the industry leader in developing and deploying automated ordering technologies for marquee restaurant brands. Please give it up for Steve Biggery, the CEO of Sync3 Restaurant Solutions.
Thank you. It's no secret in the past year we've experienced a dramatic shift resulting from all that's transpired in the past year. These unprecedented times have led to unprecedented opportunities. Sadly, our great industry is still mired in some of the ways of the past, scrambling to catch up. But we only need look to the airline industry for our roadmap, because just 10 years ago, people weren't using kiosks or apps. Now you can pre-book, pre-check, board preferred, and never wait in a line. Everything is digital right down to your boarding pass. The only time you engage with a person is when you arrive at the gate. Now there are still sheeple waiting in line, but they're not behind us. So even their experience is better and faster. There are three key aspects that made this happen. The first is a robust digital infrastructure. You know, our Chief Product Officer helped design Southwest.com in digital. And teaching folks about the new normal, talking to travelers, is an important aspect of that. So that second phase is where, if you recall, you were standing in the line and somebody came to you and said, "Hey sir, ma'am, what are you doing?" "I'm just trying to check my bag." And they'd usher you over to the kiosk, show you how to do it, and you were out of the line. They educated you, and you'd receive a VIP and go experience that was one and done. And the value of that experience really drove you to repeat that. Well, the second thing is that COVID dramatically accelerated the adoption of digital. So in restaurants, we already have a robust digital stack. We've already seen the acceleration of COVID-driven tech adoption, but now AI has made voice everything affordable to the masses. Teaching always has a role in the disruption of industries. Every time at McDonald's we had a crazy new idea, we'd stick some poor person out in the lobby to explain it to the guest to get them to adopt it the first time. Those days of extra employees with extra time are long gone. Talking is what our AI, hybrid, people-backed solutions do. Understanding new ways of deploying people, process, and technology will change our future. And we can take advantage of and understand the new restaurant ecosystem. We need a dramatic paradigm shift today. The problem is most restaurants are still focused on improving the processes and methodologies of yesterday, instead of focusing on the revolutionary road ahead. Well, the industry is busy incrementalizing restaurants 2.7, 2.8, tweaking old systems instead of obsoleting them, creating a new model for operations excellence led by technology and people. When are we going to stop reacting and start accelerating the trends that have been coming at us for years? Now's our chance to start defining the new normal, and here's where it all begins. The BHAG. The big, hairy, audacious goal. I didn't come up with that. You've already heard of BHAGs from Jim Collins in the great book Built to Last, featuring Boeing. No, Mr. Collins doesn't endorse us, but we totally endorse him. His work is awesome. Well, we thought we'd have some fun with BHAGs today, so we created some other Bs. We got the B-Hawk, the big, hairy, outrageous claim. We got the B-HAD, the big, hairy, awesome data. And we've even got B-SACs. That's definitely not what you're thinking. It's a big, supporting, audacious claim. And yes, we even have a BRFA, which I'm not really sure what that is, but we'll get to that. The first B-Hawk, the big, hairy, outrageous claim. Virtually every restaurant in America will have a drive-thru within the next decade. Call me crazy, this ain't Granny's drive-thru in 1947, which incidentally was built by a company called Red Giant Hamburger. You ever heard of them? Yeah, it wasn't me that invented drive-thru. Only 3 major brands of today existed at that time, and 2 of them were 7 years old. And A&W root beer was the category killer. Get rid of the mint green Cadillac notion with the poodle in your brain. I just brought up poodles because that was the most popular dog in 1963, and that has no relevance on what I'm talking about, but I think it's kind of fun. Better than the airlines, we won't need anybody to engage with you at the drive-thru to change it. Anyway, more on drive-thru in a moment. Now for some BHAD, big, hairy, awesome data. Here's some takeout and delivery statistics. You know, we've seen an incredible growth in off-premise food purchasing. Just a few years ago, no one heard of delivery companies. Now today, they're everywhere. Online ordering hardly existed. Today, almost everyone has it. In Blue Dot's recent State of What Feeds Us report, they tell us that rising competition between fast food and fast casual has completely blurred those category lines, and soon they probably will be gone. In fact, it tells us that 63% of our guests would like designated drive-through lanes to pick up their mobile orders. It's the #1 thing that they want. 31% would revisit a restaurant with a mobile and drive-through connected lane. 35% want the ability to text their order, and they'd actually download and keep an app if you were able to track them and align production with their arrival. We as a group are thinking too small today. Less than 15 years ago, people told me I was crazy when I started telling restaurants that off-premise ordering was the way of the future. Business was really tough in those days. Now the industry has transformed as voice AI is mainstream. Today at Sync3, we've processed billions of dollars of automated transactions and millions of those transactions because AI is here to stay. We're doing it with some of the largest, most prominent national brands. And those brands see what's coming. And now I'll show you how to see it too. Let's do the first BSAC, the big, supporting, audacious claim #1, back to the drive-thru and what the drive-thru of the future is going to look like. Every restaurant in America is going to have a speaker post. In fact, they really do today. They're just not utilizing it very well. No, it's not that tin can that's been sitting around a lot since 1947. Remember they used to have dial phones, connected landlines? Those weren't very mobile. This is very relevant because the speaker post I'm referring to lives in each of your pockets today. In order to appreciate the true power that smartphones represent, truly for restaurants, they are a comprehensive ordering interface. They're capable of online, voice, text, and chat ordering, but also capable of supporting AI voice ordering that never fails because it's supported by human beings. Our restaurant guests have the ability to order when they want, how they want, wherever they are. This early order capture enables so many things. Remember that disruption of the airline industry? Companies like our amazing partner Telenav are embedding smartphone capabilities into the cars themselves. People are safely pre-ordering while driving. Leveraging technology to align pickup with production, making food hotter, fresher, and faster. These kinds of tech are going to make the speaker post ubiquitous. In fact, they're moving into the dining rooms of restaurants as well. Using QR codes and order ahead, dine in is transforming the way people eat inside restaurants. Many of you have probably used those recently, but this is just the beginning. We'll get back to that at the end. BSAC #2. Every restaurant is going to have a payment window. No, I'm not talking about a physical window. Think more along the lines of a payment gateway. Guests can pay any way they want. We use voice and text today. One of our brands actually has 50% of all their off-premise guests using text to pay today. Soon we'll deploy text and chat ordering and so much more. This enables pay ahead, which is the second key to driving digital adoption. By the way, an additional benefit is getting those lovely red bags out of your dining room at lunch and dinner. Not that there won't be deliveries, just that the delivery drivers won't have to be sitting around. BSAC #3. Every restaurant will have a pickup window, multiple in fact. This is the key to order fulfillment. This will take many forms, like the intelligent lockers seamlessly integrated by IntelliPick for pickup of your off-premise order, which leverage your current existing digital infrastructure to eliminate lines, improve quality, and reduce labor. But most importantly, bring guests back again and again. But today we already see pass-through lanes, curbside parking stalls, shelves, and order ahead dine-in. Two things are needed to complete the transformation. Digital voice adoption needs to be used to educate and direct the guest, because you don't have the staff or the time anymore to do it. An ever-evolving digital suite of solutions will bring guests back over and over. Yes, loyalty programs drive adoption, but it's frictionless convenience that guarantees adoption and sustains that momentum. BSAC number 4, every restaurant can eliminate lines, because line is a 4-letter word. Seriously, there's nothing convenient about a line. This bears repeating. There is nothing convenient about a line. The reason for lines is perceived convenience. What happens when a guest has boundless choices for ordering, payment, and fulfillment? Right now, we have a bunch of companies out there trying to perfect the line, which is only making the line longer. Folks don't like standing in line at the airport. What makes us think they'll enjoy doing it for food? Let's think back to your childhood. Everyone here, admit it, wanted to cut the line in grade school. Come on, you've acted like you've forgotten. It's foolish to think adults are any different. For adults, a VIP experience is a line-cutting experience. And that's all about parallel service delivery, because drive-through is synonymous with convenience. In other words, serving guests better, more efficiently, in a manner they wish to be served. Meet your guests where they are and take them where they want to go, which I assure you is not the end of a line. In the future, everyone can do fast food. Now the purchase decision becomes more about quality, service, and price, because convenience becomes table stakes. BRFA, big reasons for adoption now. Boy, I was worried about that one. Hopefully you agree with me that every restaurant's going to have a drive-thru, or at least something more convenient than a drive-thru. That AI-human hybrid is mainstream, and now is bringing tip-of-the-spear digital adoption to the masses. It's the platform upon which transformation will be driven. I need you to understand absolutely none of this is future speak. Our top restaurant brands are deploying now these breakthrough technologies, processes, and people-backed methodologies. These restaurants are experiencing much happier, more satisfied guests, realizing higher checks, experience reduction in labor costs, and seeing incredible improvements in efficiencies and substantial increases to their bottom lines. But even more, these restaurant brands are changing the entire dynamic of how food is ordered, paid for, and delivered to their guests. These are the restaurants who are going to change everything in the coming decade. They're also the ones that will win. Oh, I almost forgot. Once you order ahead, pay ahead, and align production with arrival, a section of your lobby can be dedicated to order ahead, dine in. A cut-the-line experience delivered at a table. No server, no waits. Anyone can serve them. Digital tech will ping staff if they're needed. We provide a meaningful alternative for guests who want it. We have an unprecedented opportunity to change guest behaviors forever. That window will close when staffing improves, so we need to do it today. Thank you.